Hey everyone, welcome to the KE Report and a company update from Valkea Resources. We are recapping the drill results from the inaugural drill program at the Paana Project in Finland, in the Lapland Greenstone Gold Belt. Company drilled just under 2,000 meters in 6 holes, has released all of those holes yesterday, February 27th. All those holes did hit gold mineralization. I am chatting with Chris Donaldson, President and CEO of Valkea Resources. Company is traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol OZ, on the OTCQB under the symbol OZBKF, and the Frankfurt Exchange S600. Now, Chris, let's recap all these results again from the Paana Project. I will be posting a Figure 1 from the news release. That's a map of the area outlining a lot of the activity in the area. We're focusing to the north at that Paana Project. Now, Chris, the market reacted pretty well to these results. Now that they are all out, gives us a chance to more or less recap the program and explain them. So take us through, again, this initial program. It's not a huge program, but you were testing, I guess, past discoveries that were made by past operators.
Yeah, hey, Corey, thanks for having me here. Yeah, exciting times here. If you remember, we finished this transaction last September and tried to get on the ground as quickly as we can and do a modest program, really pretty keen to follow up on some of the results that the S2, the company that had it before, had done, but hadn't seen any work since about 2020. So we ran a modest program just under 2,000 meters, as you indicated there, and had 3 main objectives. One was to confirm the presence of the high grade and disseminated gold in 2 key areas, and we wanted to expand the footprint of the known areas that we had, and also refine the geological and structural model, and incorporating the results from this new drilling. Well, we also went out and did a relog of select holes from before. So accomplished that and in a pretty timely way, and really pleased with what's come out of it.
So the 2 zones that were tested here, the Koivu Zone and the Honka Zone. Koivu Zone is what was highlighted in the headline number of just over 15 meters of 3.43 grams per ton gold, including a higher grade section of a little under 3 meters of almost 13 grams per ton gold. Explain to us this Koivu Zone. It looks like there's been less drilling there compared to that Honka Zone.
Yeah, I mean, I would say our best hole before was in what we're calling now the Honka Zone. So there was one hole 500 meters away, and we drilled a couple holes around that and established what we're now calling a bulk tonnage Koivu Zone. The parallel really is it's a Kari style of Rupert Resources deposit. And what it is zones of bleaching there were caused by the silica sericite carbonate alteration associated with kind of quartz carbonate and pyrite. And so in short, seeing longer sections of slightly lower grade but really broad sections there. And so really pretty pleased with that. I guess one of the takeaways is that it looks like it's a little more geologically complex than what we thought. So we divided this area up into the 2 zones, and so you got the Koivu Zone that is kind of recently established here that we're very excited about, and then the Honka Zone, where we did 4 holes in and around some really great intercepts that we had before, and got hit mineralizations up to a few grams over a few meters in several areas there, and got a better handle on how these plunges or columns of high grade are orientated and so on. So, it was a modest program, but accomplished all 3 of those goals that I talked about before, and really sets us up now to move forward and do our next program. And, the big takeaway is, look, all the holes hit mineralization. And actually, to date, everything that's been drilled, I think it's about 16,000 meters on the Paana Project, has hit mineralization, and we're in a system. And takeaway is that, there's a lot of gold there.
So looking at Figure 3, this is the cross section from the drill results from this Koivu Zone. Something that we have talked about previously is that a lot of the past drilling was relatively shallow in nature. We can see that in that cross section, all those faded holes, just how shallow they were. the holes that hit the mineralization, or the best parts of the mineralization, seem like they're a little bit deeper than a lot of the historic drilling. So how does this impact strategy just at the Koivu Zone?
Yeah, so I mean, one thing to know about this area is that it doesn't outcrop. It's covered by 5 to 15 meters of till. So there's an extra step to the exploration process. Initially you do your soils and your geophysics on ground and above. And then you've got that extra step where you do what we call base of till drilling, shallow drilling, up to 100 meters, but shallow drilling into the till and see if you hit the pathfinders that you want to see. And from there, then you go a bit deeper. So from those base of till results, we identified two large targets there. You've got Valkea West is where we did all this drilling, and then Valkea East, and they're 1.3 kilometers long and 3 kilometers long, respectively. So, yeah, 2/3 of all drilling has been shallow, and we have had some very good hits even in that shallow drilling. But now we're starting to go a bit deeper and down to about 300 and say 50 meters or so, and having some success. We're really focused on what we can find, 300 meters or so and up. But it is good to note that, these are open at depth and down dip, especially in the Koivu zone there. And it's important to know that Kittila, they're modeling down to 2 kilometers. So there's a lot more that could be explored there. But for the immediate term, our focus is really what's on the top 300.
Okay, so the Koivu zone, again, just two holes that were drilled into that zone. Clearly, you're going to follow up there. What about this Honka zone? You did hit gold mineralization, didn't quite have, I guess, the high grade that you were looking for. We can also see those cross sections of the other drill holes, the historic drill holes. Take us through how, I guess, the results you got from your drilling in this maiden program compared to some of those historic results.
Yeah, I mean, hole 62, which was a historic one, it had 65 meters at 1.5 grams and 4 meters at 18 grams and so on. So we did some 25 to 50 meters step outs from that on the four holes. And yeah, we didn't get those kind of bonanza numbers, but we did hit some good grades and so on and have a good in that area. It was as much about understanding kind of the orientation of that, and we'll come up with some new modeling and release that as we interpret this data here. And so that was very helpful. We're still very pleased with that. But it's the Koivu zone that is new here, and we feel like we've established a new area, and that will be our main focus of follow-up is to test the lateral extents of that and down dip as well.
So, Chris, the market reacted quite favorably to these results just in the really day of trading after we're recording this. I know this is a much tighter held company. So, what's going on market wise?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting times here. So we haven't traded a ton up until now, and we're very tightly held. So we only have 32 million shares out. Over half of that is locked up or with insiders. And then the balance, on my financing that I did, which really is the bulk of the shares, we only had about 30, 35 investors. Most of them were pretty market savvy mining folks led by Sprott funds and are really in it for the long term here. So when we do see a bit of volume, we really pop. I mean, we've had a good couple of days. We're starting to see some volume here. And I hope that continues here next week after PDAC. And now that I'm out, going on your show and talking up the story, that now that we have some results to talk about. But it's good to note there's also a lot of excitement in the area, right? I mean, here we are. We've got something that has the potential to be significant. We're 13 kilometers from the actual Kittila mine and adjacent, and our properties are contiguous to the largest gold producing mine in Europe, and that being Kittila, which is owned by Agnico Eagle. Right beside us, also contiguous to the Pana Project, is Kinross Gold, and they've got an exploration play right there. Just south of us, in touching one of our other properties, is B2 Gold. And then 65 kilometers away, you've got Rupert Resources that went from, kind of our size 5 years ago and had discovery. Their discovery holes were not too dissimilar to what we've just put out. And they were able to grow that into 3, 4 million ounce reserve and our $1 billion market cap right now. So we've got about as good of a area code that you would want to be for gold exploration. You're seeing active majors being active in terms of their own exploration, and there's been M&A activity in the area. and you're in truly a tier one jurisdiction that people are scrambling to get into, being Finland and specifically the Lapland. It was I want to say nothing's ever easy, but it was as seamless of a drill program as I've ever done. The workers were fantastic. It was cold to work there, but we didn't have any hiccups. We were able to get we announced that we were going to drill and started drilling 2 weeks later. It really is a great place to drill. So you add all those up with a tight share structure and a gold tailwind, and some success now on the drill bit. I think we're really poised to catch up to some of the other companies in the area that have a higher market cap. I mean, I think today we're at 15, 16 million market cap, which is, anyways, we have a lot of room to run on that if we continue the success.
Well, just check out that map that I'm posting below this interview to see all the action and all the other companies in and around the area. So, Chris, now that you have all 6 of these holes out from this Maiden program, this phase 1 program, what comes next? When can you get back on site? When can we see, I guess, more drilling?
Yeah, so as soon as we can, we, got to analyze this data a little bit more and put some new targets in. It definitely warrants more drilling and follow up, and we're very anxious to start doing that. And so I would imagine we get something rolling before summer. I'll get up there in the next month or two. I want to talk to the guys on the ground and kind of, see where we're at. But we also have these other projects, corporately that are non kind of core yet still right in the heart of what we're doing. Of course, we've got a JV with Rupert on 2 of our assets, and they're active on those where they're earning in up to 70%. But we've got some other projects that we may look to do something creative with as well. So I expect there to be, news to follow here in the next couple of months as well.
Okay. Well, Chris, I think that takes us through these results. I am going to post a link to the Valkea website so everyone can read over those results. Please send me any follow-up questions you have, and I will follow up with Chris as we get some more news on what the future holds for this company. So, Chris, again, thank you very much for the update here.
Hey, thanks so much. Take care.